Hello everyone and welcome back to another Universe Sandbox video, and today we're going to be doing another episode of Evolving a Custom Solar System from Birth to Death in the latest version of the game, Update 30, or now it's actually Update 30.0.1, so there's been a few bug fixes or something since the last time we did this. But anyways, without further ado, we're going to hop straight into the action, so we'll just have a quick recap. So this is our system so far. As we can see, some of the orbits have just got ridiculously crazy already, all due to our dominant gas giant here of Voxium, which has a massive 8.31 Jupiter. So we've got a very, very giant Titan object in here, which is causing a lot of trouble for pretty much everything in the outer solar system. We've also got a bunch of rocky planets, obviously, in the inner areas here, which are all the ones that are getting pretty much scorched up by the close proximity to the star. We've also got another ice giant out here. There's two of those, and that's basically all of our remaining gas giants. We did have a lot more to begin with, but we did lose them all due to ejections. So yeah, this is currently where our system sits. We've got a lot of default sort of rocky objects in there as well, and also we've got some more notable planets on the inner system here. So without further ado, we'll have a quick recap and just view some of the familiar faces from the previous episode as well. So we've got Narati here, I remember that one. We've got this one in the middle here. So this is the closest one to the star currently. Now I believe this was a world that could have been Earth-like at one point, but unfortunately fate has decided otherwise. So yeah, not looking good for that one. Where are we? We also had Akam over here. How are you doing? 206 degrees here at the moment. So let's just let the simulation play out for a bit as well. And let's just see how everyone's sitting here. So you can see this one is still at 627 degrees. Next object out, that's increasing at the moment. We've got Futinus here, that's at 34 currently. Ularis, we've got this one over here as well. So that's one of the default sort of rocky objects. How's this one doing? So this one's at 195 degrees. Now I believe someone mentioned that there could be a glitch with the new atmosphere stuff. So I'm just going to have a quick peek. So apparently the atmosphere layers could have changed due to when you reopen a simulation. Apparently they could get upset. So I'm not sure about that. But anyways, I'm just going to just slightly have a little play with these possibly. I don't know, because I can't remember what they were from the last episode, I have to say. So it is a bit annoying. So if I just have a look at all these, if they are all value of 1, then we know that something's up, because we definitely had different values in here. So yeah, it looks like they've all been reset to 1, which is very, very annoying. That is very, very annoying. So that's completely changed all of our settings that we had in there. So looks like some of the objects have cooled down a bit, which is a bit annoying. So what we'll do is we'll just have to sort of manually just try and buff things up, because we know which ones were, well, we know relatively who were hot and who were colder. So for instance, this one as well, I believe this one was a lot hotter than what it is at the moment. So again, we'll just give that a quite little buff to its size there. We'll put it to 15, there we go, or 23 apparently. We won't go any different from that. Okay, Vitinus, how are you doing? So let's see here. Again, I'm just going to give it a slight. Looks like it likes to go to 23 is the default option. So, okay. But I've got to say, that's really annoying, that is, because now we have to sort of go back fixing things before we can actually move on. So, yeah, very, very pesky little thing that is. Sulfur gas dwarf. This was a world that was once a gas dwarf, and now it's just been reduced to a rocky planet. It lost all of its objects, or all of its gas, I should say. Ularis over here, how are you doing? I'm pretty sure I remember this one being fairly warm, so I don't know why it's... Did we do this one? Let's see, 858 ATM though, that's pretty insane. Okay, moving further out, I think we can pretty much leave it at that, to be honest. We've got Narati over here. We'll give this one just a slight atmosphere as well. But yeah, honestly, it's been a week since I filmed. I cannot remember the stats, unfortunately, of what they all were in particular. So yeah, a bit annoying, unfortunately, but we'll have to roll with it, unfortunately. So how are we doing here? Give that one a slight buff as well. Mole over here. This was a world that could potentially be an Earth-like world, if I remember correctly. So yeah, a bit annoying how that one's been tossed out the system, unfortunately, so we can't really see what will happen to it. 2, there we go. Just gonna give it just a tiny bit, and then the last one I want to sort of have a look is this one over here. So this is a world, also a potential Earth-like candidate, but it's frozen, completely frozen at the moment. So yeah, that's a shame. I mean, maybe it will somehow get back in here, but I have no idea. Anyways, we'll just go ahead and save just in case. Maybe the update to the game fixed that bug. Who knows? But let's continue. Okay, and let's let this system evolve. So, play. Let's speed everything up. Let's watch this as it plays out. There we go. Okay. Keep an eye on those orbits, though, because I think we are going to see some changes to the outer area. I mean, the outer solar system is constantly changing. There's no perfect orbit for any of these guys. I mean, even the outer ice giants are getting a slight wobble on their orbits, I believe. I mean, other than that, though, all of the rocky planets are all having constant changes, a lot more than anything else. So, not looking good. What's that Mora object here? Why has this one got a trail colour? Is this one we tidally locked? I can't remember. Pretty sure we did tidally lock one. I cannot remember, honestly. But judging by that looks tidally locked to me. Because we can see it, yeah, one side is perfectly facing the star. So I'm guessing, yeah, that must be a tidally locked effect on it. So, pretty interesting stuff. It's still pretty cold, though. But we can see that's not really changing too much there. Okay, anyways, on to the inner system. How are we doing in there? So, we should see it. All these objects are... should be baking a little more hotter than they were. We've got fittiness, that's glowing hot now. Yeah, that's... pretty extreme. We've got this one here. So they're all obviously too close to the star. This one here, it has no atmosphere or anything, so it's just a default sort of Mercury-like rock. Sulfur gas dwarf, same applies to that. How are we doing? So we've got Eularis over here. We've got this one as well. So yeah, the inner system, there's not really anything nice in there at all. So I think what we're going to do as well is the Polaris, the star itself, we're going to have a slight increase in radius and luminosity. So we can see here, let's slowly start to make it larger. So we're going up a bit. Luminosity, obviously, that is also going to increase dramatically. We're going to have a big jump up to 4 AU now. So we've taken a big leap in time. So we are now at this point. So let's let things evolve. Okay, so if we just have a look at some of these other... So we can see Narati here. This one has a bit of greenhouse effect, but it's just not enough to really get the temperature. But it does fly into the red zone of the Hathor grid. So let's see if it gets any sort of temperature increase at all. So it goes to 240. So it does decrease a bit, but I don't know if that's enough to really warm it up. We can see it's not really cooling or getting any cold though. It's still at minus 241 here. So every time it flies by, maybe it will slightly warm up a little more. Let's have a look. So keep an eye on that temperature. As it flies by, every single time it will warm up to an average sort of temperature, I guess, unless its orbit gets changed. So we can see it is melting though. But it's freezing again. It looks like it's found its sort of perfect area here. So look, it's on the outer edges of its orbit right now. It's getting colder again, but as it approaches the star, it's slowly going to warm up. So it goes all the way down to about minus 44 or 43, and then it slowly hovers away again. So it's still not in that correct area just yet. Okay. How's Onet over here? So this was that one with that massive crater on it, as we can see there. So that one has... This one probably has potential life conditions as well, but you can see it is... it is getting in the green zone, so we'll have to see if that has any sort of temperature increase at all. It's at minus 204 degrees. We'll have a little look. Let's let time increase. Minus 202, 201, 200, minus... Okay, so it's getting a little colder every orbit. Okay, keep an eye on that. So, anyways, let's really let time evolve now. Keep an eye on the orbits again. You can see there's a lot of dwarf planet orbits being tossed out, having some pretty extreme orbits, so... Yeah, things could still go crazy. I reckon more objects will get ejected from this. They've got to. There's just no way they can't. I mean, there's so many objects in here. There's got to be at least one. It's just going to get the bye-bye. So, yeah, not good for any of the dwarf planets on the outer system here. So, pretty crazy stuff. We can see Narati over here. That one looks like it's had an orbit change again. Look, you can see its orbit's been stretched out more, so it just cannot get into close to the star for warm up. Because anything close to Voxium, which is obviously basically the beginning of the outer solar system, anything further than that or gets close to it, it's just going to have big trouble. The inner solar system's protected though, but it's just the outer system that's not really looking too hot at the moment. So yeah, it's going to constantly change. None of the outer orbits are going to sit really the same with that green gas giant in there. So yeah, pretty crazy. And just for comparison, let's just have a look how big the green gas giant actually is compared to everything else. I mean, it is a very dominant object. I mean, the ice giants, they're nowhere near the size of it. So there we are, onto the Rockies. I mean, there we've got a nice sort of lineup of different objects here. But yeah, nothing's really looking too good. They're either too cold or they're too hot. There is no place in this system that could have lifelike conditions at all. So not looking good. What is going on here? It's probably because we're running the simulation so fast. Okay. Right, anyways, let's continue to let things play out. We'll throw it. Or we can see, actually, while we're here, we can see that this object's just flown by the star again. Still hanging on to that orbit, though. I really want to see this world get a better orbit, but I don't know if it's going to happen, unfortunately. So that is a bit of a shame. We'll go ahead and just update our save as well. Looking good. All right. Cool. Right, now let's go to the star again. Oh, whoa, okay. So, star. We're going to have another increase in radius. So we're going to get larger once more. Oh, it's getting bigger. That's a big increase. We're really entering the sort of early red giant phases now. Luminosity's going up dangerously high. 22 suns now, so we've taken a huge leap. We can see Voxium here. This is a world that's now receiving temperature from the star. So we can see it's going up to 90 degrees straight away. So that is a big increase on the star there. It's really starting to get to the closest stages of a red giant now. So looking really extreme. I mean, if we look at its stats, it's 6 suns in radius. I mean, it's nothing ridiculous yet, but it does have more mass than the sun. So yeah, not looking good there. How are we doing? Sulfur gas dwarf, what's left of it? I mean, 200 degrees. It has no atmosphere to really give it any greenhouse, so that's not too bad there. But I mean, all of these guys, anything with an atmosphere at this close range, I mean, they're all going to get scorched to death. I mean, there's no, yeah, all of them are gone. They've all had it. How's Mora doing? That was the tidy lock planet. I mean, surely this is going to see some temperature increases of some kind. I'm sure this was tidy lock, wasn't it? Yeah, it's got to be. So let's see how this plays out. As it gets closer to the star, we're going to start to see positive temperature there because it's going up into the positives, but then it obviously flies away again, so not looking good there. Narati, that was a world we could see with some good temperature. How's that doing? 100. It's going up to 100 degrees, so we've actually missed the point where this world would have been habitable. So, I mean, at the moment, it's currently at its closest to habitable stage. I mean, 50. I mean, its orbit's still changing though, so it could change. We could see more things, but I think just for a bit of because we did have quite a big leap on the star, just to be a little kind to it. The fate and the power of the power we possess, we're going to lower that down to that. So it's actually lost a bit of its atmosphere less. So then you can see the temperature is now sitting at Earth-like conditions. So, no, it still increases though. Its orbit is so very bizarre. And its orbit's constantly changing it. We can't really get a consistently good temperature here. So it either gets very hot or very cold due to the orbital distance. It goes into the red zone of the habitable disk and then it goes out to the green. So it just can't retain a consistent temperature. So yeah, not looking good there. What we'll do is we will lower it just a tad bit, just for a convenience. But as we can see, even if you lower it, it just can't find a good spot to really retain its temperature because it's just getting... its orbit varies too much to really have a consistent number. So, I mean, we can try going to 10 just to try and get it into that consistent area. So we can see at the cold area, it goes to minus 28. It goes into the star again. Let's see here, it's going to go all the way up to 29. So it goes from about minus 29 or 29 all the way down to about minus 34. So, I mean, there's no consistent temperature there. But, I mean, in its current state, this is probably the most habitable this planet will get. I mean, I don't see it either getting a consistent orbit at this point. So, that's pretty much going to be the end result of this object. So it has got the conditions. You can see the big craters filled up with oceans now. It actually has city lights on it now, apparently. Okay, cool. So it has somehow developed a civilization in this short period of time. But there you go. So that's the closest to habitable we have seen in this system so far. I mean, that's literally the closest we can do with a little bit of power of changing its atmosphere layers. But I mean, that's about it really. I mean, it's not going to last much longer though when the star changes constantly. How are we doing out here? So this well, ooh, look at the orbit here. Now this orbit is not as large as it once was, so we could possibly see an Earth-like condition develop here if its orbit can stay close to the star. So let's let time play out. Come on, speed. There you go. So it's still taking quite a bit of time to really enter the system here, but there you go. So it flies out. I mean, I don't see it really going to have much good temperature out of that. How's Onet doing? So this is another world that could potentially be an Earth-like condition. This one has an even larger crater on it than the other one. We can currently see it is in its Earth-like sort of conditions. It's very, very hot still, but I mean, it is... that's pretty much the closest we're going to get for that one as well. So it is pretty warm. And look at that. Nixus here, 9.2. So it is flown straight in and out. This was an orbit that was going all the way out here at one point. But now it's flown too close to the star in this current period of time. And its temperature is now too hot to host any sort of life as we know it. So you could see it was a world that had promise. But now it's just too hot. So look underneath. That's what it's underneath at the moment. So it does look pretty friendly underneath, but I mean, I don't think that's really gonna really going to last too long. I mean, with how close it is to the star, unfortunately. So that's kind of had a bad fate, that object has. It's managed to get the orbit it needed, but it's now too late in the development of the star. I mean, the star is now too luminous for this part of the solar system. And we can see its orbit is definitely going to change again. There's no way. You can see the green gas giant is constantly changing its orbit, though. It just can't get a break, this object, can it? So every time the green one flies by, I mean, just keep an eye. Every time the green one is going to get close to it, we're going to see some big changes. So they just have to be in the correct positions at the correct time, and we will see. Big trouble is going to develop once they fly by each other at the correct time. You can see its orbit's been stretched out even more, so now it's going into the minuses again. Then it goes to the start. It warms up to 25 degrees. So again, this object, I mean, it can get habitable for a very short period of time until its orbit changes again. So yeah, quite a shame, honestly. It's a world that probably one of the best candidates for life in the system that's left, because we did lose a lot in the last episode. A lot of objects got ejected, which could have been Earth-like conditions. So not looking good at all. But as we see, it flies by the star. It's now in positive temperatures. We'll see it, the water will melt. So it's the water underneath that should be liquid now. But again, it flies by and then it will start getting cold again. It just cannot retain any temperature due to the orbital changes. So it's a bit of a shame, really. How are we doing at the ice giants? I mean, yeah, they're nowhere near the habitable zone of the star yet. Ups and D over here. That's the other ice giant. The Rati over here. That world has now got a nice, more circular orbit. So it looks like its orbit may be able to... Yeah, okay, so that's still in its best sort of Earth-like condition at the moment. But it's still having changes. I mean, cannot get a break at all. So, not looking good. We've got Mole over here. How are you doing? So that's another Earth candidate, but it's just not got the orbit for it, unfortunately. So this system, man, we have not had any, any of these at all. I mean, I know these ones have got good temperature, but their temperature is not consistent enough to really be a candidate for Earth-like conditions, really. So, I mean, out of this whole system, we haven't seen any objects that really stand out as being possibly Earth-like at all. I mean, some of them have the compositions, but they just don't have the orbit or the temperature to really take advantage of those compositions they have, unfortunately. So I don't think any object in here could really have any chance at Earth-like conditions, because the green gas giant, Voxium, it just causes too much orbital disturbance for any object to really settle down, unfortunately. So yeah, the big nasty gas giant here is a big problem for any rocky planet in this system, unfortunately. So yeah, that's basically it. I mean, as soon as the star gets brighter, I mean, we're not going to see any chances of Earth-like conditions once the sky gets even larger. So yeah, not looking good at all here. We can start to see it. Some of the inner solar system objects are getting just stupidly close here. We can really start to increase luminosity now. So it's 68 luminosity of suns. I mean, the inner system is just going to be in big chaos. I mean, even if we look here at the gas giants, I mean, I think Voxium itself is now in the red zone. It's at 200 odd degrees here. So yeah, the habitable zone is pushing itself out. Not looking good there. Any objects with an atmosphere? We've got Mole over here. This is a world of an atmosphere, so it will fly into the red zone. So maybe it will warm up a bit, but again, it will just freeze. So yeah, not enough, unfortunately. So let's keep an eye. Wait for Mole to return. Let's see if it gets any... I mean, it should be able to get some temperature flying by. So let's see here. So we should start to see it now. As it flies in. Slow down time. Okay, so it is warming up already. Yep, it is warming up, drastically warming up. Okay, just going to fly into the red zone, as we can see now. So it's going to go all the way up into the positive temperatures. So again, it's a world that has Earth-like composition, but it just has not got the orbit to really take advantage of it. So again, it's just going to freeze up, as you can see, completely frozen again. So it just cannot hold on. Narati, how are you doing? So that is in yeah, that's now not really... This was a world that was never really set up for the Earth conditions either. Where's that other green one? So Onet over here, that was the one with the big crater as well. Minus 100 degrees. It doesn't have the atmosphere to really warm up at the moment. So that's all frozen. Okay. So it's really crazy how the atmosphere varies here. So there you go. Okay. Let's also let time just evolve. Look onto the star, please. There you go. Okay. So let's just see if the orbits, let the orbits do their thing as well. See if there's any changes. But it looks like maybe some of the orbits have settled a bit more now. I mean, obviously the Narati, or not Narati, the Voxium gas giant, that's cleaned out most things around its orbit position. So everything else has kind of settled down a bit. But there's still some outer dwarf planets and other outer rocky objects that are not really got a consistent orbit. But I mean, a decent amount of them have now, but not all of them. So there's Mole flying by again. I mean, all it needs to do is get too close to the green gas giant, and it will just have another orbit change. So it's all about what fate decides for that object, I think. So let's watch it. So it's flying in again. Oh, this is pretty crazy stuff. Okay, you can see it. Oh, what is? Oh, we have a world out here as well. Calm. What's going on over here? We'll keep an eye on that. Let's put it to a white trail so we can actually see it stand out a bit more. So there you go. Keep an eye on that. Actually, so it really stands out, we'll just put it in a bright. There you go. So now you can really see it. Okay. Inner solar system, how are we doing here? I mean, I don't think there's much to say, really. I think you can pretty much just, if I just turn all of this off, you can see what's going on. You can just see what temperature these objects are at. They are glowing hot. All of them. I mean, look, you can see from a distance here. Is that the sulfur gas dwarf's the only one that's not really hot yet? But, yeah, you can see all of them just like miniature stars now. All of them glowing hot, so... Where's Vox? There's Voxium over there. You can see the objects all sort of lining up, but I mean, just looking from Voxium's perspective at the inner system, you can see all of the planets closer are glowing. Apart from a few of them in there, there's yeah, they've all completely had it, unfortunately. So there you go. And there's Atoll Zone for the inner system. I mean, it's not looking good at all. So you can see 2,000 degrees here. So yeah, it's absolutely chaotic in here. So 1,000 degrees there. Fitziness, that's 2,000 here as well. 1,900, 800. And sulfur gas dwarf's just chilling at a nice cool 360 there. Okay. Right, let's continue. Speed up time. Look at the pink orbit. I mean, what is going on over there? Right, okay. So really let time advance. See what will go on. Put the orbits back on as well so we can see who's who. But I mean, yeah, most things. Oh, I'm surprised we haven't seen any objects get ejected yet in this episode. I think maybe all the things that needed to get ejected have already been cleared out. So, I mean, there's a few little objects sitting on the really far orbits, but it looks like they may be able to hang on. So, yeah, pretty extreme stuff. Anyways, we're going to throw a save while we are running here. So there you go. Let that save. Okay. Let's continue. Full speed ahead. Then onto the Polaris as well. Again, we're going to see a double up in... There you go. So it's really... We're doubling that up now. It's getting some really dangerous things going on. We're going to slowly see it become more red. Not like that, but slowly start to see the red colour sort of changing now. So, star is getting redder. Not looking good in the inner system. Whoa! What happened there? Where'd it go? What's happened there? That's our star just blown. It's gone. Oh, that's why you saved the game, everyone. Oh. What happened there? Oh, dearie dear. Okay. Oh, we'll load back in. I don't know what happened there. Maybe it didn't like us doubling that up. I mean, come on, it's not that big game. Come on, what? 26 suns. I mean, that's tiny. That's no red giant. Look, 0. Oh, okay, maybe it was 0.1 AU. So, I mean, yeah, you can see... Yeah, okay. We'll keep an eye on that, though, so we'll put it back to what it was, though. So 138. We'll let the simulation run slower this time. Play. Oi, what's all that about? Hang on, let's load that again. That blue object should have crashed into the star. I don't know what's going on there. Let's just try that again. Just to try and get... So once you start... Stars do start to get a little more glitchy once you get to the large sizes like this, so... You can see that world there. It should just be engulfed by the star, to be honest. Let's just slow down all the way here. So a few days, minutes, hours. Go away years. Okay. Play. Okay, so we're traveling a few minutes here, so we can see it. This is just going to get incinerated now. I mean, look how close it is. So, okay, we'll let time advance, see how this plays out. So, this should in theory just fall into the star or just be dissolved. I mean, there's... What's happening to the star? Is the star... Is the star being torn apart by Rouge Limit? What's going on there? What is that all about? Well, I have never seen that. So the star just puffed into nothingness by Rouge Limit, I'm guessing. What is that? Oh my god. By what? What tore it apart? It's got 1.26 suns of mass. What is going to blow that up? Okay, I'm guessing it's something to do with this, so we're just going to delete that because that would be engulfed at this point. So click play. Okay, now it runs. Oh, go figure. So that blue object for some reason was tearing it apart. I've no idea why. That is very, very strange. So the first of the inner planets has been destroyed. So we'll slow down. How are we doing? So, I mean, even the sulfur gas dwarf, I mean, that should be in, yeah, 500 odd degrees now. Pretty insane. How's Onet doing over here? Okay. That's still pretty far out. So we can see here, this is just getting pretty insane. Start to go to that really deep red colour now as we get into the larger size. The end of the life of this star. So there you go, we'll save, replace. I think we have enhanced the red a bit, but oh well. It's a bit of fantasy at the end of the day, so we'll go ahead and close that. And then you can see, so the closest planet to the star now, so we've got Akam, or what's left of it. So you can see from the surface, so we'll just go ahead and have a little look here. There's your star from the surface, so yeah, not looking good. Not looking good at all here, so yeah, pretty big star. A lot of action going on there. Let's rotate the camera back to where we were. Okay, there you go. So yeah, pretty extreme. Let me just get the camera. There you go. But yeah, that's not looking good there, is it? So yeah, look how as we get closer to the star, it gets more orange, but as we zoom out, it's more red. That's cool. So looking from Mole's perspective here, then that's probably a good area to look at. On the distant areas of this system, so a planet that had the conditions to be Earth-like, but it just never got its chance. Looking around, there's your star over there. It is looking chaotically red. If we look on the surface here, look up in the sky. There's your star. You can see a lot of the inner planets are glowing hot as well. Whoa, okay. So where are we? So where are we? Oh, where is it? Star. I think it's nighttime at the moment, so we can't see it. Let it rotate around again. Okay, so it should be there. Okay, so let's have a little look of all the objects on the inner areas going around. Yeah, that's looking pretty insane. I mean, I think if we go to view realistic is what you should be getting. Always, that's quite cool. So you can see the whole system there, but enhanced, slightly more glowing. But realistic, I mean, you can see there's a lot of objects in that zone there. So yeah, not looking good from this distance. Side, the star doesn't look very large, but yeah, I'm sure that'll be subject to change eventually. But actually, no, probably not actually, because it's already around 0.1 AU, so I mean, it can't really get too much bigger. So here we are. Click play, continue. There we go, orbits. So let's save as well, as we're really going to sort of crack down on the star now. We are at the very final sort of stages of its life, but we still need got a bit more mass to, or a bit more radius to say, I think we've got to go. So if we look at luminosity here, we're going to double that up to 2. So just to prevent that glitch as well, this object that's going to be engulfed, so that's gone. So 0.2 AU, we're going to go even larger, 0.4. I think that's probably going to be the maximum limit for this star. So let's see how this. Oh god damn. Okay. So that is looking very red. Just for a bit of fun though, look how red our red giant is now. Unrealistically red, but it looks cool. So we're going to roll with it. So I think we're not going to go much larger than that. I mean, that's a very red star. 0.4 AU. I mean, I know in theory the sun will get larger than that, and this has more mass. So in theory, this should keep going. So, Fittiness, the next world to be destroyed. Not sure that's going to last too much longer, but we're going to slowly... actually, what we'll do is we'll save first, just in case anything goes wrong. So, there you go. Okay. Luminosity needs to be increased a lot more at this point, I think. So we're going to have that at 8,000 suns now. So I think that's more appropriate. So if we look at the zone, I mean, I think even the outer mole over here is now in the habitable zone. Is this its time to finally shine, mole? Come on, let's go. Is it finally going to warm up? Let's put it straight to 0 degrees. It's warming up. There you go. It's finally getting the chance to melt and have some Earth-like conditions, but I doubt they're going to last very long as it gets closer to the star. It still has a really weird orbit, so yeah, that ain't going to last, is it? So there you go. But this is just crazy. I mean, here's where's that one? That one's got that one. Onet over here. Look, it's giant craters now, an ocean. The rest of it's all land. That's pretty cool. So there you go. Cool. The 0.4, can we get much larger than that? I mean, we should be able to go to a 0.9, because I mean, if the sun's going to roughly get to the distance of Earth, this is more massive than the sun, so roughly you'd think maybe it can get around 1 AU, but not much bigger than that, I don't think. So, there you are. But what we'll do is we'll keep saving. We're going to keep getting bigger, as it really is hammer time now for the star, so we're going to slowly keep increasing. So the only problem is, I think as we make it larger and it actually engulfs these objects, I think it's just going to pop the star. Let's have a little look. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, any collisions, stars are so glitchy. As soon as they collide with anything, they just disappear. What is that all about? I mean, come on, it's a giant star. I don't think colliding with a little rocky planet's going to change too much. So 8,000 degrees going. What is that all about? Oh my god. I think Roosh limit. Look at what is going on there. Look at that. That's very bizarre. Okay, but anyways, these are all gonna dissolve. I mean, there's no chance that they're gonna last much longer, so they are gone. So we're gonna continue large and expanding in size. Oh, it's done it again. Okay, so maybe the star can't go much larger than that. Maybe that's not anything colliding with it. It looks like the star just cannot hold that sort of size any more. So I think this is the star in its final stage then. I don't think it can get much larger than this. So I mean, it's large enough to be a red giant, don't get me wrong. I mean, if we look here, compare it to some of the other stars. So, open up the menu. Come on, game. Come on. Don't know why it's so cold, so freezy when it does that. Okay, so the sun. There's the regular sun. I mean, we'll compare it to my red giant sun here as well, just as a comparison. So, that's the red giant sun. I mean, still could have some more size to sort of expand, I guess. But, I mean, I don't know if this can really hold on to it. I mean, what we'll do is we'll wipe out just the whole inner system here and make this just... We're just going to double it up straight up. So there you go. It's not getting larger than that. There's no way. I think it's just going to pop. Yeah, it just won't. It can't do it. It just can't do it. So I think what we need to do now is I think we need to have our little planetary nebula. I think this is the furthest we can actually go in this system for size-wise of the star is that. So that's pretty much the system in its final form. I don't think anything's really going to... Yeah, the star can't really get much larger. It can get more luminous, though. So we can go for a big increase there. So there you go. 17,000. I think that's a fair amount to finish it up on. So how are we doing over here? Mora, 165. This was entirely locked, wasn't it? Yeah. So let's see how that... We'll see how the system runs to begin with in this sort of era of being the high temperature era. But yeah, look at that. So you can see this is a... Yeah, so you can see the hot zone of this object's now glowing hot. How are we doing out here? Mole over here. How you doing, Mole? How you doing, buddy? 120 degrees, so yeah, no chance of Earth-like ever again there. Orbis is still going absolutely... There's Mole, yeah, too hot indeed, okay. I love how the star looks more red when you zoom out, and then as you get closer it goes more of a white colour. That's so cool. So, there you go. So, yeah, honestly, a very, very bizarre system this has been. I mean, no object has been able to have a consistent orbit apart from the inner objects. Everything has just been completely ruined by that green gas giant in here, Voxium here. So, yeah, this has been the absolute troublemaker of this system, I mean, without a doubt. So, there you go, okay. But anyways, I think it's time for the star to meet its demise. So we're going to go ahead and save once more. So, there you go. Replace. Okay. Cool. Right, now, what we need to do here is... This is going to be... Adding the white dwarf star in here. So, what we need to do is... We need to... So, what I'm just going to call it B to D. So, birth to death, Polaris AB. Then we're going to go ahead and save it. Okay. So then what we're going to do is we're going to replace this with a white dwarf star. So if I just search white dwarf, I've got the old template to use. Where's my white dwarf? Oh, give me my white dwarf. Where has it gone? Come on. Dwarf. I'm sure I had my... Where did my white dwarf star go? Damn it. Okay, we're using Sirius B then. There we go. That's a white dwarf, isn't it? Yeah, that's a white dwarf. So, okay. So that's our white dwarf. And then what we need to simply do is place Polaris on top of... This is how you have to do supernovas in this game. It's so weird, but Polaris AB, we're going to place that just straight on top of it. Okay. So the white dwarf, think of that as the core of this star, and then all we need to simply do is... not fireworks, we want to explode it. So tools... Explode this thing, so we'll put that down. Let's explode. Press that. On the star. Select the star, damn it. Come on. Star. Oh, I think I've done it because I can't select the star anymore. Like, go away. Let's see here. Is that gonna work? Just blow the thing up, please. Come on. There you go. Okay. So, Sirius B in the middle, white dwarf. The star's outer layers have gone. So this is now what we have. So, slow down time for obvious reasons here, because we know things are just going to go absolutely crazy now. So, go down to something ridiculously slow. We'll look from the inner. Sulfur gas dwarf. A world that's once had its own gas, but not anymore. Press play. The supernova's gone. The star has exploded. Sirius B is in the middle. So there's our white dwarf in there. Okay. Slowly let the time play. But as you can see, I don't think much in the inner system's going to survive that, I have to say. Voxium here, this is a world that probably will lose a bit of mass. I doubt this is going to be destroyed by the supernova. There's no way. It looks really cool when you glow it, make it that hot though, but that has plenty of mass. I doubt that'll be getting destroyed here. We can see the other objects out here. I think the best place to look at this from is Mole, because this is a world that's been constantly on the outer edges of the system, so... Ooh, it's not looking very nice over here. But, yeah, play. I think Mole should be okay to survive this. I mean, it's on a good distance. Let's see. Will Mole survive this? So you can see the other inner system objects. I doubt we're going to see any of them survive. Let's see how Mole survives it. It's entering the gas clouds. It's losing material. You can see it's definitely losing material. But is it going to hold on? Ooh, that's not looking... Oh, that's looking really brutal. Okay. I think it should hold on. I think it's far enough away to hold on. So, oh, it's pretty... Look how hot it is. Oh, look at the face facing the supernova explosion there. Oh. So, there you go. So, red giant star is no more. Oh, it's going very crazy. Yeah, I think it has survived. And it's not looking like much else has survived, actually. So, let's have a little time play out. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So, it's cooled down. Completely in pitch darkness now. Okay, so what is actually left of this? So, are they still orbiting the white dwarf? Yes, they are. Okay. Cool. So, this is all that's left. So, we can see here that Voxium 5.6. So it lost a lot of mass. It had 8 Jupiters originally, so it's got 5. It's very dark here, but it's got 5.79 Jupiters left. So it still has plenty of mass to lose. Onet over here, how you doing? So that's obviously all frozen up now. I mean, it's all pitch darkness. So these ups and D, H. So they're basically the gas giants. So they're still going. We've got Mole over here, and then a few of the outer rock planets as well. They all survived. We still have the calm one over here. That's still going on. So I think, in theory, we can keep evolving this and seeing how this is going to play out now. Let's see how this... I mean, surely something will get ejected now. I mean, is that ever going to come back? I mean, I'd be very surprised if it does. I mean, look at this. This is absolutely crazy. Supernova's gone. So we can actually keep evolving past the supernova stage, actually, which is something we haven't done before. So, pretty extreme stuff. But obviously now we're going to sort of really, as this slowly cools down. I mean, white dwarfs will take a long time to cool down. So as you can see... Whoa, hang on, what's this in here? Something survived? Oh my god, look at this, it survived. It's still going. Oh my god. So is it actually in the habitable zone? Let's see, is it? Oh, it is. It's actually still receiving temperature. Oh my god. Oh, that's so cool. So it's actually still hanging on. Oh, wow. So the only object still receiving light. How's Voxium doing? Surely that isn't. 1 degree. Yeah, that's getting cold again. There's no way that's going to hang on anymore. Okay. Oh, stop. There you go. Okay. Right. So I guess we're going to do the full sort of stage of this star's evolution. So forget the name. That's just our white dwarf star. So this is slowly just going to cool down over a long period of time. It's actually letting me cool it down. Look. I think luminosity then. Surely that will... Yeah, there you go. So that will cool down over a long period of time. It's luminosity. Obviously no match anymore. As it gets... as time evolves, you can see the zone is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And its temperature should just go down to 5,000 there. Oh, it really doesn't let me... really doesn't want to let me cool this thing down. make it into a black... All I want to do is make it into a black dwarf. Come on, 0. No, it won't let me do it. Oh, luminosity's completely gone. That's so weird how it doesn't let me cool it down. So I guess it's going to be a white dwarf forever then. So don't know what's going on there, but obviously no more habitable zone. I mean, yeah, you can see there's all the orbits. It looks like that other object actually disintegrated completely. That object, it did survive. So okay, pretty crazy stuff. How about if I mess with its mass a bit? Maybe that will let me just let me cool it down. Damn it! It won't let me cool it down. Oh my god. If I just pause it, it's a 0. There you go. Okay, so this is going to be the dead end of this system eventually. It's just, yeah, no more star. It's just a dead star, dead core of a star in the middle. That's what it should look like. Not any of this nonsense here. It should just be all 0. But no, it won't let me have it. But that's what it should be like. So it just be completely zeroed out. So that pretty much is the end of this system. And then obviously this system will just keep going. They'll keep orbiting until the orbits finally decay. So for instance, if we are just to say the star dissolves as well. So let's see if we blow it up. There you go. Another supernova. You're having a laugh. Yeah, we'll just get rid of that. So say the star dissolves. There you go. I don't know why there. I have no idea why that supernova there, but that was really weird. So yeah, say the star eventually just disappears, and all these objects. Or actually, in theory, the orbits would decay before the star disappears. So in theory, the orbits would all fly away anyway. So yeah, orbital decay. So the orbits would just fly away from where the star was sitting anyway. So yeah, the orbits would definitely decay long before the star becomes a black dwarf, I think. So there you go. But that pretty much does it for the end of this system, guys. So I hope you all enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more. Quite annoying. This system was a little harder to sort of get to cooperate, I think. So hopefully next time we do this, we'll have a more cooperative system. As yeah, we didn't get any Earth likes in here at all. I mean, yeah, this was a pretty weird one. And yeah, update 30. I do like the way the atmospheres now work in this. I think that does add a lot more to each object, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, stay tuned for another one of these. We will do it. I think next time we are going to do the binary. I've been saying it for a while. We're going to do a binary system of evolving from birth to death, so that's going to be insane. But yeah, if that all said and done, guys, like I said, so we can go for 40 likes from today's video. Subscribe for more, and yeah, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.